Today we're heading to Modern to play the sneakiest Blightsteel Colossus ever in Blightsteel Surprise. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron-Olive, and it's time for another edition of Against the Odds. So last week, we had a Phyrexian themed Against the Odds poll, and in the end, it was the biggest, baddest Phyrexian of them all, Blightsteel Colossus, that came out on top. So today, we're heading to Modern to play some Blightsteel Surprise, trying to get some one-shot sneaky Blightsteel Colossus poison kills. So let's talk about the deck, what it's trying to do, jump into some games, see it in action. So we start off with our namesake card, Blightsteel Colossus. Blightsteel, it's ridiculously powerful. I mean, it's trampling, infecting, and indestructible. It's an 11/11. That means one clean attack kills the opponent with poison. The problem is, it costs 12 mana. So unless we want to turn into Dirty Tron players, we can't really count on casting it naturally. The good news is, we got two different plans for cheating it into play. So when I started building this deck, there were really two possibilities that came into mind. One is Shape Anew, the artifact polymorph to cheat Blightsteel into play. The other is Satoru Yumezawa, which lets its ninjutsu Blightsteel into play for 4 mana. So as I was brewing and trying to figure out what direction to go, I realized, in a weird way, these two plans actually kind of work together. So our deck today can either sneak Blightsteel into play with Shape Anew or sneak it into play with ninjutsu from Satoru Yumezawa. So first off, the Shape Anew plan. Shape Anew, you blow up an artifact and then you essentially just polymorph into an artifact. Blightsteel's the only real artifact in our deck. So we know if we pull off Shape Anew, it's going to hit Blightsteel every single time. The challenge is, this means we need non-artifacts that make artifacts to have something to target with Shape Anew. For this, we have Gilded Goose, makes a food token. Prosperous Thief works with the Ninja plan, makes a treasure token when it connects. And then Gingerbread Cabin, if we get enough forests, we can fetch it out and get a food token that way. So any of these cards give us an artifact that we can sack to Shape Anew to get our Blightsteel Colossus. And these cards also kind of work with our Satoru Yumezawa plan. If you think about ninjutsu, what does ninjutsu want? Ninjutsu wants evasive, cheap creatures that you can ninjutsu something big like Blightsteel into play from. So Gilded Goose, even though it doesn't have power, it's actually a great creature to ninjutsu off of. You attack the opponent, they probably don't have a flyer. Even if they do have a flyer, who's gonna block a Gilded Goose? It seems like you're just sending a message with a meme attack. But then, next thing you know, the Gilded Goose is being picked up, Ninja Blightsteel comes into play, and the opponent just dies. So the other challenge of the Satoru Yumezawa plan is we actually have to find Satoru and Blightsteel Colossus. With Shape Anew, we kind of just gotta find Shape Anew and a way to make an artifact, and we get Blightsteel from our deck. But ninjas help here as well with Ingenious Infiltrator, Ninja the Deep Hours, drawing us tons of cards to find Satoru, to find Blightsteel, and then we just sneak the Blightsteel into play, surprise our opponent, and win the game. And the great thing about ninjutsuing Blightsteel is ninjutsu happens after blocks are declared. So our opponent doesn't even have the option to jump block the Blightsteel Colossus. They're just straight up dead unless they have a Path to Exile or a Solitude or something. So those are the plans of the deck. Either Shape Anew into Blightsteel or sneak it into play with Satoru Yumezawa ninjutsu, smash our opponent with one Blightsteel attack and win the game. Otherwise, we get a bunch of interaction, removals and thought seizes and counters to kind of slow our opponent down, protect our combo pieces. Mana base, mostly warp to try to support the Gingerbread Cabin, a bunch of fetches that can get forest to turn on Gingerbread Cabin. Sideboard, bunch more interaction and protection. And that is Blightsteel Surprise for Modern. That's our Against the Odds deck for this week. So let's jump into some games and see if we can surprise some opponents with a 11/11 trampling, infecting, indestructible Blightsteel Colossus. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit for the wrap up. Need some Phyrexia will be one cards? Well, you can snag them from our awesome sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Against the Odds time, we are Blightsteel surprising in Modern. See what our opponent's up to, see what our hands look like. Not a great hand, but it's fine. We got some interaction. Maybe we Prosperous Thief. We don't have a Satoru to try to cheat Blightsteel into play, but we could find one. Grove of the Burnwillows. Opponent, Aboshing. Gonna have to be careful. Ooh, do we want to Shock to Thought Seize? Probably not. Let's just tap land go. Abash Red can be pretty burny. We don't want to spend 4 life for no reason. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Odd legends, apparently. Well, you know that thing I was saying about being burn heavy? We're seeing that play out. Misty Rainforest, go. So opponent's hand is 3 lightning bolts and 2 lands. What is happening? Maybe this is a loam deck. I don't know what's happening. Field of Ruin. All right. I mean, we do have some basics. Although this does put us pretty far away from what is happening? Conti's Mechanicians. Pay 2 life. Sack it. Is this like the weirdest burn deck ever? Overgrown Tomb tapped. And top deck a land, please. Ninja of the Deep Hours. All right, well, we will pass the turn. Yeah, ninja decks when they can't ninjutsu are sometimes a little awkward. I mean, we're never going to ninjutsu anyway because they got triple lightning bolt. Detection Tower. 3 damage, that player discards 2 cards. Oh my god, we're gonna lose to this. We will discard Blightsteel, Ninja of the Deep Hours. Well, at least it wasn't blowing up a land. Oh, this one doesn't blow up land. All right. You don't see too many Carnival Carnages in Modern. Changeling Outcast. All right, well, pass the turn. Opponent's hand is 3 bolts. If they just play Abash and cast the bolts, we're gonna die. Yeah, there's Abash. How about a land, Magic Gods? How about a land? Gilded Goose. Well, I mean, boom, Gilded Goose, go. Not good, because it's gonna get killed, but I mean, I guess their only red source at the moment is one that gains us life, which kind of helps with the bolts. All right, kills the goose. We need 1 more card in our opponent's graveyard, and we can drown in the lock in Abash. All right, there's the land. Here comes the Abash. Yes, this is real bad. This is real bad. Yeah, so that hits for a lot, 5. Okay, a land finally. Well, we will pass the turn. I think we die here, though. We're losing to this brutally. Opponent goes to combat, hits us with the Abash. Or down to 10. Yeah, I mean, crack the food, I guess. This is bad in every possible way. We can beat Hammer Time and so forth, but we cannot beat whatever this is. Bolts us for 6. And then bolts us, yeah? Fair enough. Well, I don't know what to do or say. Fatal Push didn't seem great, although now we'll probably get Ragavan. Let's bring in the Drown in the Locks for the Fatal Push. Run it like that? I don't know what to do. Opponent's got Gonti's Mechanician. They have cards that I have not seen anyone play since Standard from 10 years ago, and not even in Standard from 10 years ago. Well, if you're gonna lose to something spicy, and our opponent, they got something spicy. Opponent said, I think this is one of your Against the Odds decks. Opponent said they think it's one of my Against the Odds decks, which maybe. I don't know. Is this an Against the Odds deck? Let me know in the comments. I honestly, really, truly... I mean, so I had some cards that I remember playing in like Punisher Burn or Blackburn or some of these decks a long time ago. I don't remember. We definitely haven't done it with Abash or in Modern. But it's possible that we played something similar in like Standard, and then our opponent made the Modern version of it. Heck yeah. I mean, if we draw lands, this could be a Blightsteel hand. We got Satoru. Passes. Do we even play Satoru? Probably not. Now, let's get in with the Changeling. And pass the turn. Opponent. Field of Ruin. Swordplate Diplomacy. Yeah, I think this is our Punisher Burn deck, but adopted for Modern. Take them all, opponent. 3 mana, draw 3. You got us. Well, let's make a food. None of those cards really matter. I mean, I guess Veto, I'm sure, can do something. I don't know what. This deck, we're getting crushed by Swordplate Diplomacy. Absolutely wrecked. Opponent said Swordplay is just like Expressive Iteration. I will say this is one of the most fun matches I've played against anyone at Magic Online in a while. Our opponent is a joy to play against. I am not being sarcastic. Like, I am actually very much enjoying this beatdown. Sword Point is pretty much just Expressive Iteration. That is an interesting comparison. I wonder if our opponent knows that if we draw a land, they die. I wonder if they're expecting the Blightsteel Colossus. In Modern, no one expects Blightsteel. But if anyone would, it would be the Swordplate Diplomacy player. Veto, okay. No idea what this does in our opponent's deck, but sure. Needleplate Trap, 7 mana, instant. If an opponent gain life this turn, you can pay 1 rather than its mana value. Target player loses 5 life, you gain 5 life. And then that triggers, so it hits us for 10 for 1 mana. Needlebite traps us for 10. Wait, is this a thing? Should Needlepike grow over the Burn Willows be a thing? That was impressive. Land. Our turn. I think we got there. Changeling Outcast. Our Blightsteel Colossus has overcome our opponent's Needlebite trap. Somehow. All right. Blightsteel of Satoru. And got him. That Needlebite trap thing was awesome. I kind of wish we were playing our opponent's deck. The Needlebite trap Grove of the Burns Willow combo with Veto is quite the thing. To run it back. We got the Blightsteel win, but at this point, I'm more interested in the cool things our opponent's doing than who would have thought we'd be ninjutsuing Blightsteel Colossuses and getting outspiced. But that's where we're at. That is the world we live in. Our Blightsteel Satoru Yumazawa deck is just not, I can't keep up with the spice level of Needlebite Trap, Grove of the Burn Willows. Bump in the Night, Thoughtseize. Hey, that's not a burn spell. I mean, I guess it kind of burns them for 2. Opponent passes. Darkslake Shores, go. We need a way to get an artifact, and I don't know how we're gonna do that. I guess we draw the Gilded Goose is the easiest way. Gonti's Mechanicians. Oh, and they get to pay life to turn it on. Look at the synergies. The synergies of the Needlebite Trap. Okay, our turn. Our turn to take a peek. Let's see what is going on with this ridiculous deck over there. Oh my god, it's also Lutri. Just told our opponent that I would love to see their deck list because this is, I don't know what to say at this point. We'll take the Lightning Bolt. Let's take the Lightning Bolt. That's a card that I know what it does. Actually, I know what all these cards do. So this might be the win on turn 0 deck. I don't know if you remember, we did a short a while ago about how there's a deck that can win on turn 0 in Modern, but you need to draw like all the Chancellor of the Drosses, all the Soul Spikes, and you reveal the Chancellors and exile them to Soul Spikes. Oh, what a sweet pile of Magic cards. Play a Beseiju. We're not gonna blow up this Gonti's Mechanicians. Opponent said it is. Their deck can theoretically win on turn 0, but it's never happened. Which makes sense because when I mathed it out, I think it would take 3.1 million games on average to actually get the perfect 7 opening hand. So the odds of actually doing it are not high, but wow, if he did it once, that's literally a once in a lifetime win if you ever do it. Okay, there's the Abash. Our hand's not great against our opponent's deck. I think we keep the Catacombs in case we need to power up a Fatal Push. All right, there's a Blightsteel. Well, that's fine. 8 lands. We only need 8 more lands and we can just hard cast it. Opponent's hand's also a smidge on the clunky side, I think. Chancellor, Soul Spike. If they ever get the mana to cast those things. Okay. Land number 5. 7 to go. Breeding Pool. Go. I mean, I guess the other reason to keep the Catacombs uncracked is if we draw enough forests, we can get a... Wow. Soul Spike. Wait, is this Lutri Soul Spike? Exile the Chancellor, exile the Abash, Lutri. This is maybe the greatest thing I've ever seen. So opponent Soul Spikes for free, 4, you gain 4. If they had Veto out, we'd just be dead. We drop to 11, and there's a Lutri, and there's a Gonti's Mech. We're almost dead. What is happening? I mean, I think we have to crack our fetch now to... We can't afford to keep taking damage. Crack the fetch. Overgrown Tomb. We gotta go tapped. Fatal Push the Lutri. We're down to a virtual 7 with this Mechanicians. Opponent passes. Ooh, okay. Thoughtseize down to 8. I don't even know if we're supposed to cast the Thoughtseize here, honestly. Might be a bad idea. Floating mana. Runs out. Another Lutri. We're gonna counter it. Take the Carnival Carnage, drop to 9. But our opponent has 6 damage in hand. They're a lightning bolt away. They're a lightning bolt away from killing us. That Lutri Soul Spike combo. All right, Plaza of Heroes. Well, at least that's not a damage. Why Plaza of Heroes? To save the Lutri? What is... I don't even know anymore. Opponent passes. Misty Rainforest. Go. 6 lands. Half the way to a Blightsteel. I mean, we're out of defense too, which means a bolt just kills us. Hopefully our opponent draws some Chancellor of the Drosses here or something. Something big and uncastable. Opponent passes. Oh no. I mean, we gotta do it. Gilded Goose. I almost feel bad because our opponent's deck has been so sweet. Mega Food. Shape anew the food. Oh no. What did they draw? Oh! All right. I mean, I will accept this loss. Needlebite Trap double Gatti's Mechanician with the Blightsteel on the stack. Opponent's deck is a sweet brew. Not even mad in the least. That was pretty awesome. I will admit, opponent's deck was pretty awesome. I thought our deck was pretty cool with the surprise Blightsteel. That was no Needlebite Trap, Gatti's Mechanician combo kill. Wow. Our deck performed well, but apparently we're not even the best against the odds deck of the week. Sweet. Against the odds time, oh my god, this hand. We are playing some Blightsteel Surprise in Modern, and sounds pretty good. Changeling Outcast, Satoru, Blightsteel in hand. It could work. I mean, we'll see what our opponent's up to. Yeah, let's just Overground Tomb untapped and run out the Changeling Outcast. Hope it lives. Go. Ijanu and, ooh, all right, opponent's hammering. There's the Ornithopter. I mean, we do have Fatal Push, so we're not just dead to Ornithopter, which is good. Ooh, Prosperous Thief. That's probably worth it, right? Well, Breeding Pool untapped. Go to combat. Get in with Changeling Outcast. I mean, I think we just Ninjutsu. Ninjutsu Prosperous Thief. Get a treasure. Yeah, let's just pass. Not gonna run out the Changeling Outcast. I think we gotta wait in case they do hammer. I think we need to leave up the Fatal Push here, sadly. Opponent. Colossal Hammer. I mean, I could also have the protection spell. That would be annoying. Well, I mean, Fatal Push it? Oh, no. All right, so opponent has the Nutter Butters. Yeah, we are in trouble. Very much in trouble. Another Ornithopter. Opponent passes. Thoughtseize isn't very helpful here. Did we get too greedy? I mean, now we're just locked into chump blocking forever. Wow, that is so brutal. I mean, we can place a Turu, but our opponent's just going to block. Yeah, I mean, I think that just gets us. All right, play the land past the turn. Yeah, I mean, I think we're just dead now because our opponent had that blacksmith skill, unfortunately. Well, I mean, that's why you play hammer. That's why you play hammer. Get those turn 2 kills with protection backup even. Jeez. Okay, sure. That was some nice hammering for our opponent. We will bring in the Drown in the Locks, bring in the Force of Vigors, bring in Assassin's Trophy, Beseiju. Oh, I mean, that was a really good hand too. That's the disappointing part about that is we actually had, I mean, we had it. We exactly had the combo. We had the surprise Blightsteel, but our opponent just had the London Dream. So we had to bring in a little bit more removal. What a sad way for that to go. We're gonna 1 Prosperous Thief, maybe 2 Prosperous Thieves. Maybe we go 2 Drown in the Locks. You know what? Actually, let's go 2 Assassin's Trophies. Let's run it like that. We're on the play for game number 2. Our hand will probably not be that beautiful. This hand can shape anew into a Blightsteel, which is sweet. Our opponent, though, mulliganing, which I assume means they'll have the turn 2 kill. That's how this works, right? So Misty Rainforest, crack it. Overgrown Tube untapped. And Gilded Goose, honk honk. Yeah, I'm not sure that Blightsteel's fast enough. Like, even if we turn 4 Blightsteel, does that even do anything against what our opponent has? As Spur Sentinel, opponent passes. I mean, I guess actually we can turn 3 it, can't we? So Vern Catacombs, go. Yeah, I think we can do it next turn, hopefully, because we can make a food with the Gilded Goose to have 2 artifacts. And that sets us up to shape anew the Blightsteel. Opponent. Sigarda's 8 goes to combat. Passing. All right, well, we will crack the Catacombs. Breeding Pool untapped. Make a food with Gilded Goose. Untap. Ooh, so many shape anews. So many shape anews. Yeah, I mean, we came here to Blightsteel, and Blightsteel we will. Misty Rainforest, crack it. Overgrown Tomb, untapped. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I mean, we'll see if it's enough. Shape anew the food. Opponent gets to draw a card, unfortunately. We cannot pay the 1, but it's a turn 3 Blightsteel. It's gotta be enough. It's gotta be enough. The biggest, baddest artifact creature in the history of Magic. Untaps. Land. Ornithopter. I mean, it's 11/11 trample infect indestructible. I don't know how this is. It's an ambitious sentineling. Even if they have a hammer, it doesn't really matter. Hilariously, if you draw a fetch land, we get a second Blightsteel. It is not legendary. All right, Esper Sentinel down. Opponent passes. Drowned in the Lock. Well, I mean, here it comes. All right, blocks with the Ornithopter. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think we do anything about this. This does keep our opponent alive. Watery Grave tapped. It also makes this Ornithopter 11 -1/-1 counters. If the hammer goes, the Ornithopter definitely goes with it. Stoneforge Mystic. I mean, if they cast another hammer, we are going to counter it. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent. This Ornithopter, though. Opponent passes. We will make a food. Untap. Go to combat. That's actually the fetch that doesn't get us the food land. Attack with Blightsteel. Takes 9 poison. Well, I mean, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Shape anew. The food. I mean, 2 Blightsteels, they gotta do it, right? That's gotta do it. There's no way. Okay, Blightsteel number 2. This is the most infect I've ever seen on the battlefield at once. About it. If we die from this, oh my goodness, I'm gonna cry. Hammer. Trying to keep that Ornithopter going. Back up to 9 power. 2 hammers. About it. More Ornithopters. Pure Steel Paladin. Okay. That doesn't kill us, though. Not this turn, at least. And Shadow Sphere. Draws 2 cards. It also equips for free. Opponent draws some cards, puts it on the Ornithopter. Life gain doesn't really matter, though. All the life gain in the world doesn't get around Blightsteel's Infect. I wonder if they'd ever put this back instant. Opponent scoops it up. Oh my god. Okay. Apparently 2 Blightsteels is good enough just barely. We made it. You know, let's go up this Assassin's Trophy. Thoughtseize is a bit, it's not bad, but it also doesn't stop Urza's Saga. You know, let's go down all the Thoughtseizes. Let's try it like that. That is one of our ways to get a Blightsteel. It worked. It worked. Opponents on the play. Can we do it again? Now it's not a surprise, though. I mean, we'll see if we live long enough, but if we don't just die, we got the Satoru. I love that we can ninjutsu off Gilded Goose. We do the send a message attack and then ninjutsu off of it. Misty Raid Forest, crack it. Breeding Pool untapped and honk honk, Gilded Goose, pass the turn. All right, there's the Urza's Saga and Stoneforge Mystic, okay. Things getting a little scarier. What do we do now? All right, gets the hammer. There's the Ornithopter. Join in the mix. Well, now we can't get in with the Gilded Goose because the Ornithopter can just block it. Dark Slick Shores. Run out Satoru. Pass the turn. All right, let's see how bad it is. Opponent taking up the Saga. Do they have a way to equip the hammer is the big question. Not yet. Opponent passes. Oh, they're shaping now. So if we attack, how blown out do we get? They block here. Makes a Saga token. 1/2. I think we attack with both and see what happens. Blocks. Well, I mean, play on the island, play Prosperous Thief. I mean, we got the Blightsteel in hand. Can we get in an attack, though, is the question. Opponent constructs. Can we get in an attack? Constructs. So opponent's just going to try to make enough blockers that we can't get through. So I guess we're kind of hoping our opponent gets greedy and attacks. If they get in with the construct, there's a chance we just win. Passes. Ingenious Infiltrator. Ornithopter is like ruining our day. Well, Gingerbread Cavern, go. We can't get through. I can't believe we're getting shut down by an Ornithopter. The Ornithopter to block our Gilded Goose. Opponent plays a land. Colossus Hammer does not currently have a way to equip it, though. You would think if they had Pure Steel, they would have played it first. Okay. Oh, no attacks. All right, so, well, this is fine, because we get to make a food. We can go on the Shape Anew plan, even though we can't ninjutsu. Maybe we ninjutsu a Blightsteel off a Blightsteel. Oh my god, there's Changeling Outcast. Okay, that's what we were looking for. Okay, so, Verdant Catacombs. Shape Anew the food. Get a Blightsteel. Sack the Verdant Catacombs. Get a Swamp. Play the Changeling Outcast. Okay. This could be double trouble. Are we going to get it? Are we going to get the Yumazawa Blightsteel kill? Opponent attacks. Because you know they're going to be focused on this one. And this is a very good blocker, too. If they do get the hammer on it, it should keep us alive. Sacks the Silent Clearing. Giver of Runes. Colossal. They're tapped out. Don't tell them. Don't tell them. It's a surprise. It's a surprise. It's happening. Oh, we're going to do it. Okay. Attack. It is going to be a surprise. Blocks the Blightsteel. I have bad news, opponent. I have bad news, friend. Ninjutsu. Number 2 of Satoru Yumezawa. Doesn't really matter what we take. That is an 11/11 unblocked trampling Blightsteel Colossus. Off ninjutsu, taking down one of the best decks in the modern format. Double Blightsteel twice. Wow! Oh my goodness, that was so good. That was everything we dreamed of and more that one game. We almost got it in game 1. Game 2, we got the Shape-a-New kill. Game 3, we Shape-a-Newed, but we also got this sneaky ninja Blightsteel kill. Yes! Oh my god, that was so sweet. Well, sweet. Against the odds time, we are playing some Blightsteel Surprise in Modern. I mean, this hand, we don't got a Blightsteel, but we can do ninja things, which is sweet. We also have Satoru. Well, let's see. We're going to Misty Rainforest, crack it. Yeah, let's get over onto him. Untapped, gilded, use Hong Kong. Really want the goose to live. If the goose dies before we can ninjutsu off of it, things could go poorly. We can't actually cast anything next turn. We ninjutsu pretty much anything. Actually gonna be interesting. If we do get to ninjutsu, what do we... Monastery Schwiftspia. Is there a way this can go wrong? I mean, there are ways. It seems so... You know what? We're gonna block. Very unlikely that they have a gut shot or something in their deck. We draw a swamp. Well, Polluted Delta, crack Polluted Delta. Island. Send a goose message. Hit you with the goose. Does not block. Prosperous Thief. Pick up the goose. Hit you, make a treasure. Use the treasure to replay the goose Hong Kong. And pass the turn. Against Burn, the food is actually kind of relevant. Goose doing some work. Ninja Goose, Best Goose, Searing Blaze. Wow, going after the goose. Okay. Opponent wants no part of that goose action. Gets in, hits us down to 11. Well, we draw a Fatal Push. Well, play the Schwamp. Go to combat, hit you with the Thief. Make a treasure. Boy, we really want to draw Blightsteel. Play Satoru past the turn. I mean, if we draw Blightsteel, we should win. That's the missing piece of this winning puzzle. If we have to, we can sack the treasure to kill the Swift Spear. Even more Searing Blazes. Opponent is going to bolt our face. So we drop to 5. Not a Blightsteel. Well, we will sack a food. Go up to 8. Play a Gilded Goose. Make another food. Pass the turn. So opponent needs like triple bolt here, basically. Oh, what we would give for a Blightsteel. Opponent plays a land. So triple bolt less likely. Rift bolt suspended, sure. While this goose food might just keep us alive. Opponent passes. Verdant Catacombs. So play the Verdant Catacombs. Takes it. Okay, so ninjutsu the Infiltrator. Anticipate. Well, I guess we take Ninja the D-Powers. Get Infiltrator. Hit you, draw a card. I do think we gotta crack the food. All right, we hit our opponent, we draw a card. It's a Thoughtseize that we aren't gonna cast. Pass the turn. We also only have Shocklands left, so we need to be aware of that. Sacred Foundry for our opponent tapped. Are we drawing a card? No. So when do we crack the food? I think we let this go. Rift bolts our face down to 5. So it still takes 2 cards for our opponent to kill us. Crack Sunbake Canyon. Goes attacking. I mean, we will block. If Satoru dies, Satoru dies. Crack Verdant Catacombs. Down to 4. Breeding Pool tapped. Untap. Blightsteel. Fatal Push. Do some attacking. Yeah, attack. Get in with both. Draw some cards. Infiltrator. More Fatal Pushes. And a Changeling Outcast. Opponent's down to 5. We will crack a food. Trying to play around our opponent having like a skull crack effect. Wow, they did have a skull crack effect. Okay. Crack a food. Yeah, so now we might actually just be dead. Opponent had exactly the card they needed. We played around it as best we could, but that might not be enough. Opponent tap land. Yeah, I mean, this means there's cards that kill us now. We'll discard the Thoughtseize. Oh, the main deck skull crack. Oh, it's a land, okay. And a Swift Spear. That means we're not dead. Actually, that means we win. The goose food comes through. Would still love to draw Blightsteel. All right, we will take it. Come on, Blightsteel. Oh, that would be such a sweet way to win. Opponent passes. I mean, we win either way. Darkslick Shores. All right, well, we'll win the boring way. Fatal Push the Swift Spear. Hit you for 4. Oh, that was close. Somehow we overcame the burn-in. Let's go down Thoughtseizes. Drown in the lock. Drown in the lock. Spell Pierce? Yeah, let's go Spell Pierce. We're gonna like that. We don't really have life gain in the sideboard, but that's fine. Well, that was kind of the non-Blightsteel win, but the ninja still got there. I mean, I think we keep this. Don't have anything to ninjutsu off of, which is a little bit troubling, but we do have a removal spell, which is nice. Sacred Foundry for our opponent. Untapped. Monastery Swift Spear. Gets in, hits us. Sure. Down to 19. Gilded Goose, Hong Kong. One time. Yes. It actually is a Gilded Goose Hong Kong. Do we play it though? Or do we just kill the Swift Spear? Oh, we have to shock ourselves too? That's a little awkward. I mean, it is the upside play though. So what are we getting with this? A swamp? All right, not a huge fan of this, but Breeding Pool untapped. Down to 16. Gilded Goose Hong Kong. Go. I mean, this is the upside play. Although, after our opponent got absolutely wrecked by a Gilded Goose last turn, or last game, yeah, all right, opponent's gonna kill the goose. That makes sense. The goose was too good. Was too good for our opponent last turn. About it gets it, it's us. Well, now we'd really like to draw land at some point. Down to 11. Just burn stuff. Well, Verdant Catacombs. Go. So we can kill the Swift Spear. We only got 1 food off of our goose. Opponent plays a land. Yeah, our mana base is kind of painful. Boros Charm for 4. Down to 7. Oh yeah, this is bad. This is real bad. And Skewer the Critics. Wow, we're down to 3. That is not much life. Well, boy, this is our turn 2. Yeah, I mean, that's a good burn hand. Kill the Swift Spear, drop to 3. That means we're dead to a bolt. Yeah, I mean, I guess we just have to hope they don't have it. I don't think there's another option. Satura, we could crack the food, but that's such a no-win play for the long term. Like, it increases our odds of surviving the turn, but it doesn't increase our odds of actually winning. To win, we need the Blightsteel. All right, well, good news is we're on the play for game number 3. That means our thing is not getting Searing Blazed on the turn that we play it, and we're taking 5 damage or whatever. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Oh, come on. Oh man, if we get Satoru Blightsteel, it should be able to steal the win. Our opponent is not going to see that coming. Oh, come on, give us the Blightsteel hand deck. Well, this is not a Blightsteel hand, but I like this hand. Overgrown untapped. Gilded Goose Hong Kong. Sacred Boundary for our opponent, untapped. And Riftbolt suspended. All right, let's see what we find. Changeling Outcast. Play Changeling Outcast. Play Misty Rainforest, pass the turn. So here comes the Riftbolt. All right, 3 at our face. Gonna need to eat some food at some point. keep our strength up. Another Riftbolt suspended. Oh, okay. Oh, this is good news. Well, we'll get a Breeding Pool. Untap. Thousand-Faced Shadow. Play Gingerbread Cabin. Oh, I really don't want to spend the food. Let's get in with a Changeling Outcast. Hit you for what? I think we actually just pass. So we can either crack our food or make another food, depending on what our opponent does. All right, down to 11 for now. Opponent, Riftbolt suspended. Well, in that case, we will make a food. Spell Pierce. Well, get in with the Changeling Outcast. The least Blightsteel-y game so far. Yeah, opponent said it would be useful for them to draw land. I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I imagine that it would. Well, I mean, we're gonna go max greed mode. We're gonna go, if we draw Blightsteel, we win mode. That's what I came here for. We didn't come here to just Spell Pierce our way past Bird. We came here to Blightsteel, fools. Opponent, Riftbolt. Go in at our face. Let's Spell Pierce that. That's kind of like cracking a food for 3 life, except it only costs 1 mana because we're saving this 3 damage. Suspends Riftbolt. All right, just Lightning Bolts our face. All right, Blightsteel. Blightsteel off the top. Blightsteel off the top. Attack. I think we just attack with Changeling Outcast. We're gonna do this the boring way. Hit you for 1. Pass the turn. Opponent untapped. Sooner or later they're gonna draw the land, and then it becomes a little scarier. Goblin Guide. Okay, that's fine. Passing. Well, make a food. Untap Blightsteel. Is this the turn? Not quite, although Ingenious Infiltrator is pretty sweet. All right, go to combat, get in with a Changeling Outcast. Hopefully this finds us a Blightsteel, because we get to anticipate and then draw a card. All right, no blocks. So, Ninjutsu Infiltrator, Yumazawa, Island, no Blightsteels. Hit you, draw a card. Satoru. Is there a way we die this turn? Even if our opponent draws a land, play Thousand Face Shadow. Sack of food, play Changeling Outcast. I don't think we can die this turn, even if our opponent draws a land. Worst case, they hit us for what, 6? 2 lightning bolts. All right, Lava spikes us to 5. I mean, opponent is giving it the whole college try with one land over there. Blightsteel, Overgrown Tomb, not a Blightsteel. We'll go to combat. Hit ya. Draw a land, and a Fatal Push. And there's the Blightsteel. Okay, well, we will crack the food up to 8, play the land, pass the turn, discard a land. Oh, that is a Blightsteel win for next turn. About it. Monastery Schwiftspiel goes attacking. Top card, Satoru. Well, we'll block. We don't really need the goose anymore. We might as well make a food. But none of this matters because attack you with Changeling Outcast. Opponent, no blocks. Blightsteel surprise. Got him! And you thought we were trying to kill you with damage. Oh, the surprise Blightsteel. Oh, that was good. I mean, a little excessive because we definitely, because our opponent was stuck on mana, we definitely could have won just by attacking with ninjas and like killing and countering everything. But I mean, how do you pass up the chance out of nowhere? Opponent said, "Oh God," too. It's the psychological damage win. Yeah, we could have won by attacking with 2/2s, but why would you do that when you could throw the biggest, most poisonous, most infectious artifact right at your opponent's face for 4 mana? Sweet. Against the odds time, we are Blightsteel surprising in Modern. Yeah, I think we just mulligan that. One land's not enough to do what we want to do. Well, all right, this hand is also not great, but I think we keep it. At 6, I think we keep it. We're up against something with Jingatha. I guess we just put Shape Anew to the bottom. Yeah, let's put a Shape Anew to the bottom. Verdant Catacombs, go. So we definitely need a land or something we can ninjutsu off of. I don't even think we cracked the fetch yet. Ooh, more Fatal Pushes, okay. Well, Misty Rainforest number 2, go. So is this Yarion-less Yarion, essentially? Temple Garden for our opponent, untapped. Oh, Enchantress, okay. Well, in that case, Verdant Catacombs, crack it for Overgrown Tomb, untapped, and Fatal Push. Threat 1 down. Okay. Well, that's not really what we wanted, but yes, we're taking Blood Moon. Go. Yeah, we are never beating a Blood Moon, I don't think. Oh, this is going to be interesting. So we don't really care about Rest in Peace. We do care about getting down this Prosperous Thief. Opponent, Utopia Sprawl. Sterling Grove and Stomping Grounds. All right, so we know our opponent's hand. They can tutor with the Sterling Groves. Well, okay, Changeling Outcast, go. Boy, we're making this look hard mana-wise. Opponent untaps. Well, we might be able to ninjutsu a Prosperous Thief. Sethis for our opponent. Sterling Grove number 2. Yeah, that's not good. And a tap land. Yeah, let's crack the land. Breeding Pool tapped. I mean, I assume they can tutor up something that answers what we're trying to do here. Verdant Catacombs, go to combat. Attack you. Ninjutsu the Prosperous Thief. Get a treasure. Crack the Verdant Catacombs. Overgrown Tomb untapped. Changeling Outcast, go. I mean, we can get a Blightsteel next turn with the help of Shape Anew. Rest in Peace, opponent draws a card. Is that enough though? Does that even do anything? I assume our opponent can tutor up something that keeps us from attacking with it. On Thin Ice. Well, okay. We would rather have our opponent cast that now. I guess this means we can't necessarily Shape Anew Blightsteel yet. Yeah, Sethis is going to snowball hard, getting in for 1. Okay, we draw the land. I mean, so we can get Blightsteel, but don't they just Sphere of Safety? I mean, I guess we do it. So get in, hit ya. Yeah, I mean, I think we do it, but well, no, I don't even think we do it. We know our opponent can answer it. Breeding pool tapped. Yeah, we don't do it. It just doesn't do anything. Run out the Prosperous Thief, go. This is one of those scenarios where Blightsteel just isn't even good because we know our opponent can just Sterling Grove out an answer. On Thin Ice, draws a card. Eats the Prosperous Thief. All right, Greater Oromancy, draws a card. Yeah, that's what makes this Enchantress deck pretty good now, is you just have so many layers of protection. It's just impossible to kill anything. All right, Destiny Spinner, and that actually just does it. Well, let's see what we got in our sideboard. Thoughtseize, Spell Pierce, Assassin's Trophy, Beseiju, Force of Vigor. Oh, we could have done it too. Like, I mean, I guess the good news is we could have got a Blightsteel there. So our deck was working. We were doing our thing. Our thing just wasn't good enough to actually get through the layers of enchantments. I don't know how good Drought in the Lock is, because Enchantress, I don't think gets that many cards in the graveyard. Oh, do we actually have to trim combo pieces? Thoughtseize, Spell Pierce, Assassin's Trophy. Maybe we can go down like one Fatal Push. We could also like maybe we go one of... I mean, we do want a Blightsteel. That's the thing. If we start cutting these pieces, we're less likely to Blightsteel. I do not know how we should sideboard against this deck. Even Spell Pierce, like, it's good if we get it right on time. I really don't want to cut Ingenious Infiltrator. We need our card draw to keep up with our opponent's card draw. Maybe something like that. All right, we're on the play. Oh, we got Satoru. Shape of News, but no artifact. Well, we'll try it. The Force of Negation can stop something. And we are technically a fetch land away from just Shape of Newing off of Gingerbread Cabin. And we got Satoru, which means we're drawing live for like land Blightsteel too. I mean, that's the upside of playing Blightsteel, is it only takes one hit. If we can get in one hit, we can steal the win. Marsh Flats, Temple Garden untapped. And all right, getting the ramp on. So we want to try to keep the card draw and lock pieces off the battlefield. Those are the big ones. That is the Blightsteel. There is a world where we Satoru Yumazawa Blightsteel win a bonus. No covered plains. Enchantress's Presence. Well, that one's got to be countered. Pitch the Shape anew. Kill it. Force of Vigor. Well, Vern Catacombs. Crack Vern Catacombs. Overgrown Tomb untap, and yeah, I mean, we're gonna run it out. Hope for the best, Satoru Yumazawa. A fetch land is great because that gets us a Blightsteel. It also gets us to Force of Vigor. Just a land potentially lets us Blightsteel off Yumazawa here, which would also be kind of game ending. Basically, we need a land. We're a land away from all of our cool things. Preferably a fetch land that can get Gingerbread Cabin. I mean, they gotta deal with Satoru if they can. Destiny Spinner. So I guess Destiny Spinner's a blocker and more Utopia Sprawls. Come on, deck. Show us that land. Show us that land. Thoughtseize. Well, that is not a land, but we get to Thoughtseize. Blood Moon, Enchantress's Presence, Greater Oromancy. Well, I mean, I guess we just have to take the Blood Moon, unfortunately, past the turn. Yeah, Satoru doesn't get past the Destiny Spinner. Opponent. Oh, come on, deck. So we know that, oh, they draw the land too. That's actually pretty big because it lets them Enchantress's Presence and Greater Oromancy to start drawing cards. So the land is pretty good for our opponent there. Yeah, there's a Greater Oromancy. Land off the top. Not the best time for a Force of Vigor. Pass the turn. We can Force of Vigor the Oromancy, but nothing else. Oh, magic gods. Whew. Sterling Grove. Boy, these are just solid whammies for the Enchantress deck, one after another. On Thin Ice. Ah! All right. Yeah, now we're back to being locked. And opponent draws a card. Yeah, those were good draws. Those were good ones. On Thin Ice. There's the Rest in Peace to draw a card. Yeah, now we're just back to the same spot. Because of the Sterling Grove, there's just no point in us doing... Yeah, we didn't draw it anyway. Near miss. I mean, I guess Enchantress, all those stacks pieces. Oh, we were finally going to draw land. Wow, we were close. We were right on the edge for that entire game. Couldn't find the land. Didn't get the green card until our opponent had it locked in. Opponent, drew all the lock pieces. Close. Against the odds time, we are tempted to keep this one lander. Will we regret this? Probably. One land, one keep. One land, one keep. Okay, so why are we keeping this one lander? Well, the answer is, number one, we're on the draw. Number two, if we draw one land, this hand snowballs real hard. We have double card draw ninjas. That's a shape anew. Well, play the land untapped. Changeling Outcast, go. I mean, we're still drawing live to a land. I know it's a new year, 2023. Still have not learned to not keep one landers. It's not gonna happen. There might be an argument to countering that. Opponent gonna go attacking. We can't block. Okay, well, I mean, we're definitely countering the hammer. Whether or not we should have countered the Sigarda's Aid instead, maybe? Opponent passes. Land. Not a land. All right, well, get in with the Changeling Outcast for one. Pass the turn. I mean, opponent is down to 2 cards in hand. Hopefully none of them are hammers. Horizon Canopy. Fires up the Ink Moth Nexus. No. Is this another hammer and Giver of Runes protection? Oh, gee. All right. Well, probably shouldn't have kept the one lander. And I guess we should have countered the Sigarda's Aid? Maybe? Should we have countered the Sigarda's Aid? Assassin's Trophy in. Drown in the Lock-in. Go down a Thoughtseize. Go down a Prosperous Thief. Go down a Prosperous Thief. Yeah, let's try it. Let's try something like that. One land, but we got a Gilded Goose. And we got the Shape of News. So maybe we do learn. Maybe learning is a thing we can do. All right, we'll keep. We will put the Blightsteel to the bottom for now. Well, I mean, this hand's not horrible. Gilded Goose into Infiltrator. Missed it. Rainforest. Breeding Pool. Untapped. Gilded Goose. Go. Opponent. Horizon Canopy. And Esper Sentinel. I think we're going to ninjutsu. Ooh, all right. Wow, again, that always happens on Magic Online. The card we put to the bottom is on the top of our deck. All right, send the goose message. I do love that our game plan is ninjutsuing off of Gilded Goose. Because I think most people probably think we're just troll attacking to send a message, but no, there's a surprise. It turns into it's a ninja goose. Opponent takes the hit, we draw a card. It's a lot of Blightsteels. It's a lot of Blightsteels in our hand. Ink Moth Nexus. Is it this exact same draw again? Opponent goes to combat. Opponent attacks. It's the power of London Mulligans. We're seeing it time and time again. Opponent, Esper Sentinel, gets and hits us. That is the power of London Mulligans. Opponent just keeps mulliganing into the combo. Well, this hand really wants us to tour Yumazawa. Another Infiltrator. Well, we'll play the Gilded Goose. Make a food. Oh, yeah, I think we have to do this now, sadly. Kill the Esper Sentinel. Opponent gets to draw a card. We will not pay 11 generic mana. Gingerbread Cabin, go. If we wait, they can use that protection spell, which is awkward. Well, hopefully our opponent does not have even more hammers. Opponent, Ink Moth. Jeez, I mean, we got to block. Block the Ink Moth Nexus. Holy hammers. All right, hammer number 2. I mean, they still need hammer number 3 to win, though. So we lose our goose, unfortunately. I mean, if they just have 3 hammers, then I guess GG. Pluto Delta. Crack it. Swamp. Infiltrator number 2. Hit you draw 2 cards. The fact that our opponent attacked that way makes me think that they really did just draw a triple hammer hand. Okay, Stoneforge. All right, that's better than triple hammer hand. This is a hammer for next turn, though. So we are again... Oh, Cauldron complete. And Giver of Runes. Well, let's see if our opponent blocks. If they don't block, we draw a lot of cards. Oh, Changeling Outcast, not ideal. Now go to combat, do some attacking. We gotta go for it. I don't think we can just sit back. All right, opponent takes it. We draw 4 cards. Brazen Borrower's not bad. Can we also get a Fatal Push, maybe? Okay, Brazen Borrower Fatal Push is pretty good. And even more Blightsteel. So, Fatal Push the Giver of Runes. Misty Rainforest. So we can crack this for an island. The question is, do we run out of Changeling Outcast? The other option, so if we don't run out Changeling Outcast, we can Brazen Borrower, crack this for an island, get a food, which would put us to 6. If they have the protection spell, we still die. All right, so I think in that case, I think we Changeling Outcast. Pass the turn. So we gotta hope they don't have Blacksmith's Skill or whatever. If they can Blacksmith Skill to protect the Calder token from the Brazen Borrower bounce, then we die. Opponent. Oh, they're going to go with Ink Moth. Interesting. I mean, this is kind of fine, though, because we can just bounce the hammer. They're not even playing a hammer. And opponent scoops it up. Sure, I guess. I don't really understand why we won that game, but we did. So, sweet. Yeah, that's fine. Run it back. We drew a lot of Blightsteels. We didn't get him on the battlefield that game, but that'll happen with a 12 drop. Couldn't find the Satoru or the Shape Anew, but we did draw a lot of cards. We are on the draw. Ooh, Shape Anew, Satoru. Opponent's keeping 7. Oh, that's scary. 1, 2. So we need another land for Gingerbread Cabin. You know what? We're going to try it. We probably die. This hand's not super fast on the draw, but ooh, Force of Vigor, but we don't have a green card. Overgrown Tomb Tap, go. Being able to cast Force of Vigor would be absurd. That would potentially be a game-winning play. Arid Mesa. Opponent cracks it. That's actually big because that gets a card in the graveyard for Drown. Opponent gets Plains. Are we getting hammered already? All right, more Giver of Runes. And Ginger Brute. It's a lot of 1-drops. Sure. Down to 19. Well, Misty Rainforest. Actually, this is kind of coming together. If we can stay alive, I mean, we can get a forest, Shape Anew off the Gingerbread Cabin. Opponent hits us. Down to 18. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay, Colossus Hammer, that's fine. That's better than Cauldron Complete. We were afraid they were going for Cauldron Complete. Well, Breeding Pool tapped, untapped. Draw the Blightsteel. Wow. You know what the greediest thing ever would be is just to play this Yumazawa. They haven't seen a Blightsteel yet, which theoretically means run out Satoru, our opponent doesn't block it and we win. But I don't think in practice that's likely. They have too many blockers with double Giver of Runes. I think we're better off just trying to counter the hammer. Or if they play Sigarda's Aid, we will counter the Sigarda's Aid this time. All right, there's the Urza Saga. All right, Sigarda's Aid, counter it. Esper Sentinel, getting frisky. It looks like Blightsteel time to me. Opponent is going to get to draw a card, unfortunately, and this Ginger Brute does scare me. Breeding Pool tapped. Gingerbread Cabin, make a food. Shape Anew the food. You get to draw a card. We get to put a Blightsteel into play. Probably better than drawing a card. All right, here we go. The Giver of Runes can give protection from colorless. Going to be close. We could still just die to a hammer if our opponent can find a way to equip it, especially this turn. Next turn, it gets a little better because we can Force of Vigor the hammer. Can't catch the Gingerbread Man. Float a mana for some reason. Okay. Not sacking it yet, though. Sure. Ink Moth Nexus. Hammer. Goes combat. Passing. Gilded Goose. I really want to win with this Blightsteel. I'll play Darkslick Shores. Go attacking. Opponent. Oh, they also have Cauldron Complete. Okay, that's also scary. Opponent blocks and protects. Wow, talk about the surprise. I did not see that coming. I probably should have seen that coming. I probably would have done that exact same punt. So what happened? Our opponent had a nice little sneaky line where they put Cauldron Complete into play. They blocked our Blightsteel, and Cauldron Complete says whenever this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. Wow, they didn't even have to do anything, did they? So our opponent, they were going to block. They were going to exile our Blightsteel. They were going to give their Cauldron Complete protection from colorless. But the part that they didn't consider is if the Germ token had protection from colorless, that would make the Cauldron Complete fall off the Germ token. So opponent did all that and then blocked and then killed themselves by activating Giver of Runes. The funniest part is I'm pretty sure equipped creature has +5/+5 first strike, trample, indestructible, and haste, and says whenever this creature deals combat damage to a creature, exile that creature. I'm pretty sure that means the first strike damage would have hit the Blightsteel and exiled it. So I'm not even sure the protection was necessary. I think if our opponent did nothing, the Cauldron Complete would have exiled the Blightsteel, which is kind of insane that Cauldron Complete bleeds a Blightsteel. That does not seem like it should work that way. Just Modern Horizons 2 things. So I think by trying to protect their Cauldron Complete token, they ended up and then of course Blightsteel has trample, so it just tramples over and wins. That was an interesting game. Well, we'll take it. Blightsteel. Blightsteel. That was a sneaky Blightsteel in more ways than one. That one even snuck up on me. That was sweet. So what did we learn this week about Blightsteel Surprise in Modern? And record-wise, we went 3-2, which that's kind of a fine record. More impressively, we kind of beat the good decks that we played against, or the tier decks. I don't want to say good decks. We beat the tier decks. We beat Hammer Time twice. We beat a burn deck. One of our losses, we got janked out by Enchantress, which they just stacks us out of the game with lock pieces. And our other loss came to the most ridiculous burn deck that I've ever seen. We somehow got out against the odds, and we're trying to cheat a Blightsteel Colossus into play off of ninjutsu, and somehow our opponent's deck was just way more ridiculous than ours. So that one, I mean, it is a loss, but it didn't really feel like we lost because we got to see our opponent's deck just do some insane against the odds things. So the deck itself, I mean, we won with Blightsteel a lot of times. It seems like Blightsteel is actually a pretty effective finisher in Modern if you build around it, and we really got to see all of our plans come to fruition. We got to see the Shape Anew kills, we got to see the Yumizawa ninjutsu kills, and we got to see this sneaky synergy of the deck working together. We got to see like Gilded Goose being ninjutsu'd off of. We also got to see it making the food token to work with Shape Anew. So all the synergies, like the deck felt really cohesive. I was a little worried that like trying to mash Shape Anew and ninjas together would end up feeling really clunky and weird. Like we were playing two decks in one, but really it felt like one very cohesive synergistic deck. So that's Blightsteel Surprise. The deck was sweet, even if it maybe wasn't even the sweetest against odds deck featured in this episode. That's been our Against the Odds for this week. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoy it, and I will talk to you soon.